guys. Yeah, sorry, my camera stopped filming for whatever reason, turned off on me, and the battery wasn't dead, it just turned off on me. While I was filming, I was talking to an empty room, didn't even realize it. But anyway, I wanted to finish this one up on this part of this video, basically how kids adjust. And again, I'm no expert at this. I'm very new at this. I'm still learning. I have a long ways to go, a lot to learn. But from what I can tell and from what I can see, you know, young kids will adjust a lot faster, and especially I think if you, even with most kids, you got to make it fun. You actually got to get them to enjoy what they're doing if they're going to live on a homestead or a small farm, hobby farm. But you got to realize most kids nowadays, whether we like it or not, and in one way or another, we all have done it or doing it. We're ruining our kids by setting them in front of TVs and video games, and you know that's all they know. They don't know anything else. We have to teach our kids, and I don't have a lot of room to talk because I never taught my kids a lot of things, and that's one of the things that my wife has mentioned once or twice, and not in a bad way or anything, but was that she was the one that raised our kids. I didn't, and you know what? I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. Because she said I was always working. I was never at home. I was always gone. I was always out working. That she was the one that did everything with the kids and raised the kids. Now, I was a good father, she said, and whatever, when I was there, but I was working all the time. And I did. I was a workaholic. I didn't know anything else. And I thought that's what I was supposed to do, to provide for my family. And, you know, but I didn't realize my kids were the one missing out on a lot of that. Myself too, but my kids were missing out on a lot. And luckily, they had a good enough mother that spent a lot of time with them. And now she's wants to do that with the grandkids, you know. But yes, I honestly think that they'll do great. But it's going to be a hard adjustment for them. It's going to be a hard adjustment for any adult, especially if you've never lived in a place like this or on a homestead or in the country. You're so used to, you know, going out to dinner every weekend, you're going to movies and going shopping and, you know, tons of things to do. These little towns, some of these little towns, you're out in the middle of nowhere. And when I mean the middle of nowhere, I mean the middle of nowhere. You know, you got to think about medical. If you're going to retire and do this, you know, we're over an hour, probably about an hour, close to an hour and a half is our closest hospital. There's a doctor's office that's like 30 to 40 minutes away, but it's not open 24 hours a day. It's not open 7 days a week. So if you need a doctor in an emergency, you got a long ride, or you got to depend on air vac. Which they do a lot around here because it's so rural out in these areas. But that's one of the things you need to learn, research before buying you a place or moving into a place like this, is how far you are away from a medical facility if you think you're going to need one on a regular basis. And of course, we're all going to get older, and you know, I can't say how long I'm going to end up out here before it comes a time that physically I cannot handle it, and I'm going to have to be closer to a hospital or whatever, you know, my wife or whatever. And there's going to come that time, you know, you're going to get to that age where you have to do it. Well, you don't have to do it, and I probably won't do it. I'm stubborn and hard-headed, and I'll probably die right where I'm at now. But again, I think you can get your kids. I think even the older kids, which is going to be very hard, you can get them involved in some things in the area, and you got to take the time to involve them. You know, take them fishing, take them hunting, get them involved in the growing the garden. It's going to be hard because they're going to they're going to rebel every time, and they're going to fight you on it, and you know, they're going to blame you for their miserable lives because you moved them out into the middle of nowhere, and you took away their video games, and you took away their 500 channels of cable, and you know, and they're all their friends. They don't have any friends. They don't have a life. I mean, I've heard it all. And we lived in the city, but I heard it all. But yeah, you're going to go through that. But I think, honestly, if you get them involved, if they like any kind of outdoor stuff, and it's a good thing to spend time with your kids doing that. And I plan on doing a lot of that with my grandkids and even my son now, that I'm able to do that, and I don't work like I used to. He loves to fish. I think we're going to do a lot of fishing. My wife loves to fish, so I think we'll do a lot. And then when my grandkids are getting older, me and my wife will be spending a lot of time with them, you know, fishing and doing different things with them. And just out there on the homestead, you know, because the grandkids, we want them to love animals, but we want them to respect animals. But we want them to also learn where their food is going to come from. That their food does not come out of a grocery store, does not come wrapped up in plastic. You know, that it actually comes from a place like ours. And we want them to learn that and respect animals in the meantime, and not be cruel to them or anything like that. But we want them to learn a lot of things. We want them to learn how to grow gardens, everything that we can teach them that we ourselves have to learn, we're going to learn it together with the grandkids. We're all going to learn together. So it's actually a good thing that we're all going to learn together. And that will give them a big advantage as they grow older and go out on their own, because if there ever comes a time that they do need that, they always have that they can fall back on. They can always go back to that. Even if they don't remember it all, when they start doing it again, it'll all come back to them, and they'll remember that their mama and their papa told them and showed them how to do this and helped them learn this, and it's going to do them a lot of good in the future. And I really honestly believe that, and I believe even the people that, for whatever reason, their careers, their jobs, their family, finances, it doesn't matter, can't or won't try to get a homestead or start a homestead, grow a little garden in the backyard. Get you a few rabbits. Learn to butcher a few rabbits. Yes, it's maybe hard for some people at first, but get over it. Learn how to do it, because you never know when you're going to have to do it. And when your life may depend on it. Again, it may not ever happen. I don't know. I'm no expert on this. I'm no doomsday prepper or whatever. But I honestly believe there's going to come a time when we're going to need some knowledge of some of this stuff to survive. And again, it may not be in my lifetime, but it may be in my kids and my grandkids' lifetime. And I think if I can pass that on to them, or at least some of it on to them, they'll be so much better and so much prepared for it. So you guys, get your kids up, get them off the couch, get them out in front of the cable, and get yourself out in front of the cable. You know, teach your kids something. Go out and spend some time with your kids. Learn. Get prepared for this stuff, because you never know. And again, it's just good to bond with your children. If you're out fishing, or if you're out growing some fruit or vegetables, and then you learn how to can it and stuff like that. It's just a good family thing to learn. And I really think it's going to be a good thing for everybody. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I got to get back. It started to rain like crap. I went and picked the goats up, and I couldn't get any videos because it started raining, but I got to get these goats back and get them in the pen. All right, guys, till the next one, there will be a next one. Now, by the way, you know, I already had a comment on the first part of this, that the person was enjoying the series. But I didn't look at it as a series, to tell you the truth. It wasn't intended to be a series. It was intended to be one video, but there's just so much to cover, so much to go over, that I just thought that I want to try to cover as much as possible, because it's like some of those videos where disclaimers where they yell and scream and talk real fast, that you might understand one or two words out of the disclaimer. I didn't want this video to be like that, so it's going to be in a few sections here. I'm not going to drag it out forever, but I'm going to try to cover as much, again, as much as I can of things I've learned and I've come to realize, and I can visually see, and some things I can just know that it's going to be hard on people. It was a little hard on me, but I'll get into that in another video. But it wasn't really bad at all. A little hard. It was a big adjustment. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of here because it's really raining really bad, and I gotta get back here. And hope you guys are enjoying the video. And as always, if you like the videos, go ahead and give me a comment on it and big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. All right, thank you guys. You guys have a great night.